The Springs Radio Real Estate Show. I'm Cheryl Garlock with Colorado Front Range Properties, your host. My very special guest today is Renee Rawlings with Cornerstone Home Lending. Renee, thank you so much for joining us on the show.
Thank you, Cheryl.
You know, you guys, Renee and I work together a lot. I won't make any ridiculous statement that we don't. You know, of course we do, but there's a reason. I'm going to tell you something. If you guys haven't figured it out now, I'm a reasonably picky person, especially when I represent clients, because I want their interests well protected there. And Renee is a really solid loan officer. She definitely goes beyond the distance to help people get their loans. And you're going to find out more about that in a minute here. But if you are in the market for thinking about buying a home, or even if you don't even know if you can qualify to buy a home, you need to pick up the phone and call me. Hey, that rhymed, didn't it? Yeah, if you're in the market to buy a home, you need to pick up the phone and call me. Well, kind of. Anyway, 719-321-7600. I've got a booklet that might be of interest to you called The Home Buying Process, Keys to Your Success. Inside that booklet, aside from tips about how to find the right house and get yourself ready to go, and a checklist there, gives you some information about how to negotiate. And that's a really sensitive area, don't you think, Renee?
I do, yeah.
And it's our market is changing so much in so many different ways. You really have to be ahead of the game. So give me a call, 719-321-7600, 719-321-7600, or request it. Just visit my website, coloradospringsbesthomes.com, and request the booklet called The Home Buying Process, Keys to Your Success. Or just say the home buying booklet. I'll know what you're talking about. That'll be good there. But now, Renee, the market is getting ready is heating up. It's the summer selling season. Mm-hmm. And this is a time when everybody makes their moves, by and large. The other seasons are not dead by any means. But summer's got a lot of activity. But along with this housing, buyers are thinking about what homes are available. They often forget about the mortgage rates. Mm-hmm. And the mortgage rates affect them so much. And I like to tell people that, the mortgage rates are we're experiencing some volatility.
We are, absolutely. We've got, the economy one day is looking really good, so the rates tend to rise.
Yeah.
You have issues now, overseas, and the rates tend to fluctuate there too.
Right.
There's no stability right now. Mm-hmm. There's none.
And that's what the investors, kind of like Wall Street, when you're trying to figure out, what the stock market's going to do. Is the Dow going to go up or is it going to go down? Mm-hmm. The investors are fearful. They do not like uncertainty. No. Well, this is the same cup of tea. Mm-hmm. The investors, again, on the loans, they don't like this uncertainty thing. So that's when it gets volatile there. And I have to tell you, having done this in business for 34 years, you guys, yeah, I'm still alive and kicking and doing my thing. I don't walk with a cane, do I?
Looking good.
Okay, good. Well, anyway, I got to tell you, this is normal. Interest rates typically in a normal market, and we haven't been in a normal market for several years now where interest rates were concerned at all, let alone housing. But anyway, in a normal market, interest rates bounce around at least daily. Mm-hmm. And sometimes twice a day. Isn't that right, Renee?
3 and 4, I've seen it.
Yeah. And when we're talking about bouncing around, how much do you think a little fluctuation goes in one day or from day to day?
As far as like an interest rate?
Yeah.
It can change an eighth. It can change a half a point.
Yeah. I think the worst I've seen is maybe about 3/4 of a point. Now, this is important to consumers, isn't it?
Very important.
Mm-hmm. Let's tell them why.
The reason why is because if you got pre-approved, and you were pre-approved on a certain rate, and really you had no room for any fluctuation. Right. What do you do when the market falls?
Yeah, when the rates go up.
When the rates go up.
Yeah.
What do? Do you now don't qualify, or you are forced to find less of a home? But what happens if you go under contract?
Oh, boy.
And at the time of going under contract and you're not locked.
Yeah.
Well, so.
Let's tell everybody what that means. You're not locked, okay? Because a lot of people don't realize that they can lock in an interest rate.
Yes.
And some people do, but they don't know when.
Once you're under contract, you are allowed to lock in that rate if that's the rate you approve.
Right. Now, I want to tell you guys something. When we talk about locking in your interest rates, okay, this is one of the things about working with the right loan officers and the right lender. Get it in writing. You get it in writing. Always get it in writing here because You know, there's a little game that goes on in this industry sometimes, and it's called we call it bait and switch. Have you heard of that game, Renee?
I have.
Yeah, Cornerstone doesn't practice that.
No,
but I have heard other situations where they have practiced that, and it's really annoying. You really want to be well informed as a consumer where your loan is concerned, isn't that right?
yes.
Mm-hmm. So ask a lot of questions, get everything in writing, and you owe it to yourself to ask questions there. And understand the market. And between your loan officer and your realtor, they should be able to answer all of those questions for you.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk about what people need to do to get prepared properly to qualify for a loan.
They need to get all their income documents together. It's very important for the lender to not only just look at pay stubs, but also to look at the tax returns too in the pre-approval process.
You know, I just put a deal under contract as a listing agent on my counter proposal, because I have a counter proposal there. And like I said, you guys, I'm anal. So I look at it as if it were my deal, okay? And what would I do if it were me? Don't you want me to treat you guys the same way I would do it if it were my property I was selling?
Absolutely.
I would certainly hope so. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I'm asking for, we get these boilerplate lender letters. And I'm going, well, that's not going to work for me.
Right.
Okay. So I'm countering with, I want to know what their income and their assets are. I don't want to know what their income and their assets are, because that's privileged information. But I want to know that the lender knows that. I want to know that they've pulled a tri-merge credit bureau. I want to know that they've done a verification of employment and the verifications of deposits. So I want their income and their assets fully disclosed to the lender. And I want that in writing, and I want it fast. And when I say fast, I mean like inside of 2 days. Mm-hmm. Because I'm not going to take a property off the market unless it's a worthy cause and that worthy cause meaning a well-qualified buyer.
Right.
Because that's just a long process, and you cannot do that there. So you need a lender that will actually go through that and do those kinds of things for you as a home buyer. Get that strong lender letter. And, quickly, we don't have a lot of time, Renee, but let's tell them quickly the difference between a pre-qual and pre-approval.
I'm glad you brought that up. A pre-qual means that you take everybody's word.
Yeah.
Verbatim. That's what it is. A pre-approval is you're actually looking at all the documents and verifying it yourself, calculating the income,
right.
Calculating everything. I had someone that said that they were hired as a W-2 professor. I asked for the contract. He was not. He was 1099 and needed 2 years.
And, we understand people get things wrong. They get mistakes happen, and there's semantics, not a language they're used to. But that's why you call us, 719-321-7600. Renee and I can help you. Tune into my website, coloradospringsbesthomes.com, to learn more. We'll be right back with Property Showcase.